Hi, welcome to day 14 of our 30-day yoga journey inwards. Today we slow down our roll and we just get comfy and release. I'm so excited to bring you this class because it is a slower yin style class, and we're just going to really open up through the body and just give ourselves space to really relax and release. So I do recommend, if you've got them, to have a couple of blocks handy, as well as a blankie or two, especially if it's a cold day. You want to really be able to keep yourself all comfy and snug, and having props is just going to support us in this journey and allow us to get really comfortable as we release through some postures. So we are going to begin on our backs. So just make your way down onto your back. And then bringing the hands to the belly area. And we're just going to bring the soles of our feet together and allow our knees to drop open. Now, we're going to be here in this butterfly pose for a couple of minutes. So, if you want a little support under your knees, you can take your blocks and just place them under your knees here. Otherwise, if you feel okay with allowing gravity to do its thing, just allow the knees to drop open here. In yin, we really just begin to slow down. We take a little longer in our poses, and we just allow ourselves that space and time to tune inwards and to release. So you might find your inhales and your exhales begin to expand and become a little longer. And just really slow down. Can you allow those exhales to let you release a little bit more? Notice where you are holding tension within your body. And send the breath to that area. Send the breath there. So, I don't know about you, but at the moment I'm beginning to feel this through my hips and my thighs. So I'm just going to focus my attention on sending my breath down here and telling myself it's okay to just be here. Just let go and simply be. And then from here we're going to begin to bring the knees up to the sky. My mat is squeaking. And just walking the feet out to the edges of the mat and allowing the knees to drop in on one another. And breathe in here. And then we're going to make our way forward and coming into tabletop position. But as you do so, just take your time and really notice each movement that you make to get there. So taking your time, making your way up to your tabletop pose. And then we're going to extend the right leg back, lifting it from the hip, and then stepping it to the outside of the right hand for lizard pose. So your back knee, you might walk that back a little bit if you have space to do so. And just really grounding down in here. So again, we're coming back into the hip and that left thigh in particular. Breathing here in lizard. Now if this feels good for you, you can stay here. But if you want to come a little deeper, you might bring one block in under your right hand, one under your left, and then come down onto the elbows, bringing the elbows to the blocks here. Really just allowing that exhale to be your time of release. And now if you're here and this feels good for you and you want to stay here, then do so. If you want to go a little further still, you might remove the blocks out of the way and bring the elbows to the mat. And as you do so, you might come to the pinky toe side of that right foot and allow that right knee to drop out and away from the body. Now if you want to support for the head, you can bring that sit block in underneath and just rest your head on the block. Can you release and sink in a little bit more? Where can you soften into this posture? Three more rounds of breath here. Then lifting the head off the block, moving it out of the way. Bringing one hand where the elbow was and then the other. Bringing the sole of the foot back to the mat. And then sinking the hips back over that left knees to walk that right leg back. And extending the right leg and just tucking the toes and gently rocking forward and back here, allowing it to just loosen out. And taking any movements that feel good to you, you might open and close the hip. Just whatever feels good here. Then releasing that right knee to the mat, extending the left leg long, lifting it from the hip, and then stepping that to the outside of the left hand. And again, if you want to walk the right knee back at all, you can. And coming into your lizard pose. Now, I don't know if you heard that, I don't know if the mic picked it up, but it was my tummy doing a little rumble. And I just wanted to mention that there's really normal in yin for your tummy to start to rumble, because this is the space when we slow down and come into the parasympathetic nervous system, and that's where digestion begins to happen, where things start to happen in the body. So it's really normal to start hearing noises coming from within. Just accept it. Now again, if you want to come a little deeper today, you might bring those blocks in underneath the hands so you can come down onto your elbows on the block. And then again, if you find yourself wanting to go deeper still, then moving the blocks out of the way and bringing one elbow down and then the other, and rolling to the pinky toe side of that left foot and dropping that left knee to the side. Again, you can take your block for support for the head. 3 more rounds of breath here. Then removing the block out of the way, bringing the hands back to the mat, lowering the foot, and then sinking back into that right knee, lengthening the left leg back, and then just moving forward and back. Good. Bringing the knees together, the feet together, sinking the hips back onto the knees, bringing the arms down alongside the body and just resting the head on the mat for child's pose. Where in the body can you release and let go a little bit more? Now from here we're going to begin to lift up and walk forward, coming onto the belly. Good. And we're going to bring our elbows in under our shoulders and tucking the tailbone ever so slightly under, lifting up through the chest for Cobra pose. Now again, you can take your block and you can just bring that down in front of the forehead so you can rest the forehead on the block for a little bit of comfort. And then if you want to go a little deeper today, you might ground down into those hands, lifting the elbows up off the mat for seal pose, and just allowing yourself to try and find space here to just allow yourself to relax a little into this pose, to release. Where can you release within the body so that you can find some comfort in the discomfort of the pose? And by discomfort, I don't mean sharp, short pains. If you are feeling any sharp, short pains, then you need to come out of the pose a little. So just listening to your body and finding where you need to be today. Whether that be here, back in Sphinx, or down lower still. Two more rounds of breath here. And then releasing the elbows to the mat. Moving that block out of the way. And then just bringing one hand on the other and resting the forehead on the mat. Now really allow yourself the space to relax here in crocodile pose. Can you let go a little more through the legs, through the shoulders? And then walking the hands underneath the shoulders and lifting back up through tabletop a moment so that we can bring our big toes together and our knees as wide as the mat this time. Sink the hips back to the heels, lengthen the arms out in front of you for extended child's pose. Can you let go and release a little more here in this posture today? Five more rounds of breath here. And then when you've completed your rounds of breath, lifting the head off the mat, walking the hands back towards you and coming up through sit. We're going to transition onto our backs again, and I'm going to give you a couple of options here, so just taking a moment to watch the options. So we're going to come into fish pose. If you just want a gentle heart opener, then you will take your blanket and make it into a little roll and take that roll along the width of the short side of the mat. And then from here, we're going to bring about where our bra strap goes along the blanket and just allow the arms to open, sinking back over it, lengthening through the legs and just having a nice gentle heart opener here. So our arms are coming over the blanket, over top of the blanket. The blanket is in line with about our bra strap, and we're gently opening through the chest. If today you feel like you'd like a little bit more, then you may take your blocks. And we're going to take 2 blocks here, and one block is going to come the long ways, and we're going to drop down over the block, allowing our arms to open up, and the block is coming between our shoulder blades. And the second block is going to come behind our heads and allow ourselves to open up here. It may take a moment. You may need to adjust the block ever so slightly to find your positioning, to really just open through the chest. Our pelvis and hips are down on the mat, and we have this gentle opening. So just allowing the legs to extend long and just relaxing over the blocks, allowing yourself time to release here. Now Now, option to stay here if here feels good for you today. If you want to go a little lower, you might take that block under the head and drop it down to its lower level, so you get a little bit more of an opening through the chest. Again, it's just so important to work with your body and where it's at on any given day, so only go to the space that feels good for you. And now at this point, if you want to stay here, then do. If you want to go a little lower still, you can remove that block from under the head and just allow the head to drop back. And I just wanted to take this moment. I just had to lift my head higher so I could talk. But I wanted to take this moment that if you do feel like you've gone too far into the posture, then that's okay. Just come back out of it a little. Take a step backwards. So like I did, I had my head down off the block, but then I put the block back under my head. Just make it work for you in any given moment. Three more rounds of breath here. Can you release in a little bit more? Is there anywhere in the body you can let go? And bringing those elbows in beside the body, grounding down into one of them or two of them, and lifting the head off the block. Both hands on the mat to lift up off that block or off the blankie. Moving the props off to the side there. And then you can take your rolled up blankie and just place that under your knees. And if you have another blankie and you want to get really comfortable, we're about to come into Shavasana. So make yourself all snug. And then release back, allowing the feet to just drop open. Arms come down beside you. And just really release and let go here. Beginning to lengthen the inhales and the exhales. Taking some gentle movements through the fingers and toes. Allowing that movement to get bigger through the wrists and the ankles. And taking a big long stretch, stretching the arms overhead before bending the knees and rolling to the right side. Pausing here for a moment of gratitude to find something that that's happened today. Find gratitude for something that's happened today. And then when you're ready, making your way up to sit. I hope that you have enjoyed this yin style class and that you are able to release through the body a little bit more. I hope you are enjoying our 30 days of yoga, and you've got to day 14, so that's really exciting. You are 2 weeks in. How are you feeling? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments how you're getting on with this flow, this series actually. Let me know what you've enjoyed, what maybe you haven't enjoyed, where you've found discomfort. Let me know what your body has been telling you. I really want to hear from you, so let me know in the comments how you're getting on. I am excited to continue this journey though. We are only on day 14, so a few more days to go, right? And you can do it because you've made it this far. If you liked this class, then give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more classes like this, then hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to see when the videos drop. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.